What's up, guys? It is Thursday, February 23rd. It is 11:50 a.m. and this is the crypto market update. I got my chop knot slot playing in the background. I got my robe on, right? And it ain't even Sunday. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get updated in real time when we do these market updates, newsletters, deep dives, etc. So first starting off, we're going to go into the bond yields. And I'm going to go to a higher time frame here, like 12-hour chart. Yeah, yep. So we got that same trend line. Let me pull this coming up right there. Yep. And we're kind of on it right now. Then we got this coming up like that. And right now we are seeing the momentum curl over. And you see that the 12-hour chart, stock RSI crossing through. TSI is about to cross as well. And MACD is kind of curling over. So it does look like we're going to get a little correction in the bond yields. And it kind of looks similar to back here. So I like looking at the patterns of these indicators as well too. And that's how we can kind of look to the past to predict the future. And I would say that this right here, looks the same. So you can see how we kind of curled out and then we had a little pop up. This time, this crossed down. This didn't. But then we popped up again. And then we kind of curled over here. And as soon as we crossed, that was the actual top. And then we pulled down. And keep in mind the date, January 2nd. And you know what happened around the January 2nd to the January 19th timeframe. Like right there. January 2nd to January 19th. Let's go to Bitcoin now. And let's look at it. January 2nd was right here to January 19th. 1920 was right here. So that was this whole entire, and let me kind of clean this up a bit. January 2nd to the 1920th was this move right here. So this huge kind of melt up that we had right here coincided with bond yields doing this back here, coming down right here. Yeah, so if we can pull down with the bond yields, then that's likely a good sign for crypto. So that's what I'm seeing with that. I do think we're starting to really curl over here a little bit. And then you can even see that with the stock RSI, same similar movement, right? Same similar thing here. We had our first kind of pop up, we come down, retest. Then our second, we curl over and then go down. And then our first little pop up, we hold a support, come up here, curl over, and then likely we're going to go down. So we're like a couple days away from this potentially happening if we see some movement down to close out the week. So that's what I'm seeing with the bond yields and what I think is going to happen with those. But if we were to kind of hold where we're at now and come back up here, we need to get rejected. So I'm going to pull this top to this bottom. We stretch it out. And we would want to get rejected at the 786, which is 4.10%. So keep that on your radar. Now let's go into the dollar because the dollar is being tricky. Dollar is being tricky. Let's pull out the trend line. So we have that trend line coming up. And then we got this coming from the bottom. And we're squeezing right now. We're squeezing. So we have a couple days left for this. Until the end of the month. And then once March 1st comes up, we have this pinnacle closing in. And I would say if I take this Fibonacci retracement, we grab from this top over here down to the bottom that we set, and we got to stretch it out. Right now, we are breaking above the 786, right? That's where we found a rejection first off here. Perfect, clean, bodies closed right below, got rejected. But now on this candle right now, yesterday we got up to it, and we closed the body below. But on this candle, you can see we're popping up through and we're rallying right now with it. So it's definitely a cause for concern. I would say that if we close the body of the candle above there today at the daily close. So right now it's not, the body of the candle hasn't closed yet. We got 7 hours and 5 minutes left. I'm going to put that 786 right there. I would say our next area of our resistance would be right up here where we had kind of these touches. And so that's like 105, let's just say. Let's put that at 105, nice even number. And that's probably our next level that we want to get rejected at. And then definitely the previous high over here. If we break above there, things could get sticky. So we could come up to 108.72. So that could lead to maybe a correction with Bitcoin going down to retest that 20K, 22K level. So we definitely need to keep that on our radar. It's no doubting that we kind of broke out of this right here, this trend line coming down, connecting these, right? So we had like some support come in, we broke down, rejection. We got above. So we definitely broke out of this trend line coming down. We have this kind of trend coming up. We have like a rising wedge. If we look at the indicators down here, at first we were doing some bearish divergence. Now, if we can pop up through and make a higher high on the RSI, that kind of gets negated. So definitely on the radar. Let's go to the 12-hour chart. And we're on the 12-hour. Let me go to the daily chart. Daily chart right now, that's, no divergence there. We got our high, our low, higher high, higher low, higher high. But usually before we see, a correction come in, you'll get like 3 kind of points. So like one high, one low, second high, second low. If this could be our third high and we pull down and we start to break structure, now we're talking like, all right, dollar correction is in. And then especially we break below the RSI 50, it's kind of more set in stone that, all right, we're about to roll over with the dollar, bond yields are rolling over, and then Bitcoin is likely melting back up. But that does not mean we can't have a meltdown real quick little melt up in the dollar, meltdown with crypto, and then all of a sudden then happens that kind of reverses it all. Definitely on our radar that we got to watch for the dollar. So 4-hour chart, we still are showing momentum. Let's go to the 6-hour, still showing momentum. So right now we're holding steady. We got to watch the dollar. It's definitely a key kind of market dynamics chart that we got to take a look at. We are coming up to some heavy resistance, but we're going to have to see. So that's a cause for concern. That leaves me a little cautious. All right. So that leaves me cautious, but still we're holding up pretty fine at the moment. But definitely if we have like sharp movement to the upside, we're going rapidly up with the dollar, that will lead to a correction with crypto. It's just how it works. Stock market right now, right? So stock market's breaking down lower, and it's because the dollar is breaking up higher. So right now we had this trend line coming down like this. You could probably put it a little lower. So we're coming close down to it. I'd mark these horizontal lines. So next kind of support is 11,888. And then we have 11,600, 500 that we got to hold. Right now, we are showing momentum coming down. We were about to cross up though with the pink over the blue with the 4-hour chart, but we just got a little dump down. I don't know if there was any news that came out or anything like that, or it's just the dollar popping up, but I'll be doing my newsletter later today. But yeah, definitely where we're at right now, even we want to hold at that wick. We're at it right now. So we have a lot of momentum kind of pressing in here down to the downside. So likely we'll probably see a little correction with crypto. If the dollar keeps moving up like this, we need to see it get kind of rejected here and not show like very bullish momentum. If we go down to a microscope, I'm on a 5-minute chart and we want to see this pull down. We have this trend line coming up. If this continues up like that and we just start rallying up, it could get a little sticky. So definitely, we got to watch that. Gold. So right now, gold's at 1820. We're on the 5-day chart. We're testing this EMA ribbon as support now. We need to hold that. That's around 1800. Definitely 1800 critical level. If I were to go to the horizontal line here, put it right there. We got that support there, support resistance all up through here. It's like the middle of this kind of range that we've been in. So that's like the middle point average. Even we can pull it down a little bit more here. So definitely we want to maintain above there to maintain short-term bullish with gold. But gold moves so slow. So definitely, and if I go to the 10-day chart, you can see that we got a buy now signal. Usually the 10-day buy now has hit like local bottoms around this whole way. We're talking like a decade now. So definitely I think gold, silver are going to do well, but right now with the momentum crossing back down on the higher time frames, definitely a little cause for concern. It's not like it's going to happen immediately, but you want to see these cross back up and the momentum to come back up. So now let's go to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now has a 4-hour prepare to buy soon. We need to see the buy now come in to say, oh, okay, we're not going to start to go down. Sometimes when I see the prepare to buy soon, I get a little worried, and when I see the prepare to sell soon, I get excited because you can see that When you get prepared to sell soon, sometimes you start to rally up and things are getting overextended. And sometimes when you see the prepare to buy soon, things are starting into a downtrend. So with that 4-hour prepare to buy soon come in, it's a little cause for concern that we're going to go into a little downtrend, but we can negate that if we get the 4-hour buy now signal. And this is 3 hours away from closing, so we're not close yet. But as you can see, the 4-hour chart, stock RSI got rejected at that 50 line. We're seeing the TSI cross down below the 0. MACD is still red. So we still have the momentum headed to the downside for the moment on the 4-hour chart, like a little short-term time frame. 6-hour chart, same thing. We have the TSI cross down. We're headed to the 0 line. We don't want to cross below there. Stock RSI crossing down. We don't want to kind of cross down. We want to kind of save ourselves right here and cross back up. That's what we want to see. And the RSI right here is kind of retesting these local lows, but it's below the 50 line. So we want to get back above. Let me go to the 9-hour chart real quick. 9-hour chart. We do see that we got a sell now signal back here. So could we be in a phase like this, a little kind of correction that we already seen and then we pop back up again? Or is this like a overall market top, kind of like something like back here or back here? So that's what the $1 million question is, right? So we got to come down and look at the momentum. And right now we are with the stock RSI hitting some resistance. We need to cross up through here and then we can get the momentum back to the upside and cross up through the 50 line. We need to see the TSI stay above the 0 line and cross back up here, as well as the RSI needs to kind of level off here and start heading up. Let's go to the 12-hour chart because we were watching that heavy as far as the stock RSI, and that it really boded well. We said, hey, if we can get up through the 50 line, we're going to go up. And that's what we saw. But now we crossed down and now we're back below here and we're sitting on the 50 line for the RSI. So we're definitely at a critical juncture as far as price action, right at these kind of the level of resistance, flip to support. So must hold. Stock RSI has cooled off. So I would love to see a quick kind of cross up here to get the momentum back to the upside. You don't like to stay down in this area for a while. Like if we're overall bullish, we want to quickly cross back up. We don't want to just stay down here, right? We want to cross up, cross through the 50 line and get that momentum back right away. TSI is above the 0 line, so that's all fine. RSI is above 50. We're holding that as support right now. It's very critical that we maintain above that. And then MACD's red, so we need to see like us hold this level 23,500, 23,650. If we were to come down here, I would take this low to this high. And at the very least, if we drop down, we need to hold 22,300. 22,300 is key because that's a 786 from this low to this high, but also because you can see that was that level that when we got above support, we broke down below, got back above, we rocketed. So definitely a key level to hold is 22,300 if we do break down from here. Also, let me put up the EMA ribbon. Also, 10-day chart though. I didn't even notice this, but the 10-day chart is at 21,650, that EMA, the 200 moving average. So that's a critical level to hold to the downside if we come down to there. And we had multiple bodies of candles close right there as well. So definitely key right there. We do have the momentum still up here on the 10-day chart, but that's a higher time frame. So whatever happens in the short term spills into the higher time frame. So we need to look to the shorter time frames to be able to get a better picture of what's going to happen in the higher time frames. 5-day chart, we are above all the EMA ribbons here and we're maintaining above. But 23,300, that's where the bodies of these candles close. We're having some trouble here. We turned down, we came to this support, which is where that 10-day 200 moving average is. Now we got above, and that's that level that we need to hold if we come back down here. Let's go to a 3-day chart. 3-day chart, look at all the bodies that close below. We broke above. So that's why we're saying that 23,300 is so critical to maintain above, because it was a level that, we found a lot of days of getting rejected under, came back down, popped up above. So if we came back down to there, we need to hold it. Also, if we look over here, it was a level that we found a little trouble at as well. So I'm going to put this other one right here. And those are this is like a little channel here. We got rejected here back in August. We got rejected here recently. If we come down, we need to hold there. If we come down, we must hold there. And then we have the EMA ribbon on the 3-day right below there around like 20,000, 21,000 basically, 21,000 to 20,500 sitting right there. And that's kind of where we kind of held up initially on this pump, popped up. We do have a 3-day buy warning though. So we got a 3-day buy warning, and this candle closes today. So currently we have the stock RSI crossing down. The TSI has not crossed down yet, but it could get close. So what I would want to see is a huge push up here pretty soon. And that would probably result from the dollar melting down or kind of, putting in a local top. Then we can pop back up. This stock RSI would cross back up. The TSI would cross up, and it would save a sell now from coming in on the 3-day. Because a 3-day sell now is something you definitely want to pay attention to, especially if there's a 1-day sell warning, 2-day sell warning as well. And then we have the 3-day 200 moving average sitting here around 27,500. So if we do keep popping up, that's definitely a level we got to watch as far as some resistance coming in. And then along with the top of this void lines here around 29,500. And that coincides, and let me hide this stuff so it's cleaner. That coincides with these lows over here that we set in 2021. So we do have a good amount of resistance coming up, but we know our levels of support that we got to hold. Overall market structure, you can see, is starting to curl around. This is the first time that the EMA ribbon crossed green since back in 2021. So right now we're turning a new leaf in the market in the macro picture, but that doesn't mean in the micro that we can't kind of pull down here. But it's not, it won't be a crazy move that, the bear market's back on or the bull market's not in. We have so many other high time frame stuff that's showing us that no, the bull market's back on, the bear market's over. Like that 10-day chart that we've been always looking at. We saw every 10-day buy now that flash in Bitcoin's history has called the bottoms. So to me, the bull market's back on, and we got to kind of go about the market with that thesis. We do see here, we're kind of just hanging up. If we can, the 10-day chart, really nice if we can hold above the 23,000, like where we're at right now, like look at the body's close below here. We actually broke above and we have the body above. So I want to see the body close above 23,500, 23,600, because then we're kind of reclaiming this area and we can start to test up to this range up here around 28, 29, 30K. So definitely interesting times ahead. Now we can put a trend line to follow this as well too, like that. And we're kind of right on it. And now let me go to the 5-day, clean it up, see it a little better. And let's go to a 3-day chart. So that's why it's so critical to hold those horizontal lines here, because we have that trend line popping up with it as well too. If we break that, then that could spell us coming back down maybe to 18K. That would scare a lot of people, but that would be a great re-entry price. And then we pop back up, hold, and then we can go like that. So that's why we're watching this closely as far as the trend line, the horizontal lines, the 786 Fibonacci retracements, the higher time frame, 3-day, 2-day, 1-day sell now signals, because definitely we'll have a little market correction that will scare a lot of people if we break that. So being on the 1-day chart now, you could see it probably clearer. Let me hide. So you can see that we're very close to it. So 23K around there, 23K if we were to drop down, maybe a wick down to that 22,500 if that's the case. But as long as we're above this horizontal line right here, 23,500, 23,600, then we'll be fine. And even on the daily chart, if I grab the low to the high here, we're still above the 786, which is sitting at 23,772. So even though the dollar is popping up, we still gotta, we can't just be like, the dollar's going up, we gotta sell everything. No, we gotta make sure that the levels are holding, because if the levels are holding, trend line's still intact, then there's no need to panic until that happens. And even so, you don't need to panic. We know that the macro trend is shifting here. So let's look at the dollar again real quick. Still kind of impressing up, following that trend line that I did the 5-minute chart from early in the video. Let's go to XRP now, and let's take a look at what we were talking about last night in the group session. So I went to that watch list that we've been following, and I'm doing the percentage, right? Does seem like audio is outperforming the whole market. It's a market, it's outperforming. And that's because I saw some news this morning that they partnered with like TikTok, and now you can share audience songs on TikTok and stuff. So that's big, that's a big platform. and Audius kind of being involved with that. I mean, that shows that, look at the market for it now. It's up. It's the top gainer. No surprise there. If we go down there, XTZ is taking a little correction because of yesterday. It was up so much. You know, you gotta give to get, in the sense of if you go up 30%, you might have to come down 6%, right? So now it's like, okay, maybe you missed the XTC pump from the other day. Now you see it correct a little bit. You can take a look at the chart and be like, all right, well, this thing, it definitely still has strength. It's just given a little back to go up more again, so that maybe you can catch a reentry on this. So yeah, now let's go to, we're looking at XRP. All right, XRP right now, we have this low to this high up here, and the 786 is sitting around 0.3720. If we were to correct down to there, that'd be a level that I'd be watching. But even on the shorter time frame, let's go to a 1 hour chart. We have this low to this high, and the 786 is around 0.3864. So like for immediate short-term upside, we want to see it hold that 786. But for like medium upside, if it comes down here, we want it. And isn't that funny too? If we broke down, so all these kind of coincide with each other. Let me clean this up so we can just see kind of that, because it's a good lesson here. It all coincides. Every move is a part of the bigger move, which is part of the little move. Like, it really does coincide a lot. So from this low to this high, if we were to come down and hold the 786, we could look for more upside. But say we break it, we got to target the extension of the breakdown of this mini move. So right here, this mini move, we break down from the 786, then we're going to target the 1618, which coincides with the 786 of this medium move from this low to this high. So as you can see, every little move in here is a part of a bigger kind of piece of the puzzle. And now you can kind of get better kind of analysis in, because like you could be like, all right, like, well, if it breaks here, it comes down here. Well, does that coincide with any other levels? Yeah, from this low to this high, that's 786. So this is a good range to target. And then if it comes down here and you start to see it hold, then you start to see the momentum indicators cross up. You start to see some Stargate signals flashing the prepare to buy soon, like it is now. Then you get a vertical blue buy. That's a great trade to get in. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so definitely short-term upside, we want to hold right there. If we break it, you know, we want to hold here. And then to target to the upside, we want to go to this high down to this low here. We want to break above 0.40, I'd say. That's the level we need to get above, hold as support. And then, so that's the bigger picture right there. But now for a smaller picture, let's go to this low. And let's just say this high, let's just say that this is the low. We'll stretch it out, and getting above 0.3956 is crucial. See how it works? Kind of taking the mini move to the medium move to the macro move. So now we have our levels. We have our levels right there. You could throw these on your chart, and you look to the right side for the price points. So we got that. All right. So that's what we're watching for XRP. And I made a video on XRP yesterday. If you haven't already seen that, kind of subscribe, hit the notification bell first, but go back to the videos from yesterday and watch those. Those are all heat and fire, a lot of gems in there. So these are the levels to watch for the short term, I'd say. I covered the bigger picture yesterday. Okay, so we got those levels. Now let's go to XLM. Right now, XLM is battling with this trend line right here. So this is back February 13th, support. We're kind of just hanging on it right now. So definitely you want to see, it's a 12-hour chart as well too. You want to see Stellar get some life in here right now. Because as you can see, stock RSI is getting ready to cross down through the 50. The blue's already crossed, but the orange, if it can maintain, then that's good. But the TSI is crossing down as we speak, but the candle hasn't closed yet. So we could easily revert this back up. MACD is getting close. So very crucial for Stellar to see some movement today and hold this trend line. Because if we don't, then we could probably come down from this low to this high. We have price point of 0.08480. Mark it on your charts right there. So that's a key level to hold if we correct down here. And then for short-term stuff, let's look at the 6-hour chart. And we're going to take this low to this high. And right now we are kind of sitting at the 786. So now we can take this shorter term picture, right? And now we have to hold that level, 0.09027. To the upside, where would we want to get above to see more upside? We'll take this high. Let's just say this is the low. And we want to get back above 0.09, 0.09619 right there. Then we could target up to 0.03 to 0.05, 0.1005. All right. So we have our levels there. So now you know. All right, if we break down from here, we're targeting here. And then at that point, we'd be giving you an update of what the next targets are. But if we hold here and we start to rally up, you know we need to break that level, and then we could target up here. So hopefully that helps define these levels in the morning to watch. But yeah, so the 12-hour chart, we need to see cross-ups. So chain, let's look at chain. So on chain, we're very close to a MACD flip, and we're very close to a TSI cross. We need to pull back up. Stock RSI is above the 50 line, but we're curling over here. So maybe we pull down and then we could go up like that. We need to see the pink get its heartbeat again and come back up, and the blue come down. We do have prepare to buy soons on the 6-hour. And usually the last prepare to buy soons and buy now is called like the local bottom. So if we can get that 6-hour buy now, that'd be solid. Hopefully we can get in the next 42 minutes here. We had the 6-hour sell warnings and the sell now hit the top. So I would expect on the inverse side for the buy nows to hit that as well too. So the 4-hour chart, we already got the buy nows here. Yep. Sell now, sell warnings, sell now hit the top, buy warning, buy now, nailed it here, nailed it there. We already got a buy now. So I would say that we're closer to our bottom, right? So we're holding this level still. It's been a couple of days now. We want to see that hold, and we just want to see the MACD remain green. Because if it starts to flip to red, then maybe we do go down a little bit more. But as far as the bigger picture here, we have the 4-hour buy now came in, 6-hour buy warnings are there, the 9-hour buy warnings are there. And look at where the 200 moving average is. That's where we found our resistance as well too. But sell warnings, sell now came in. 9-hour prepare to buy soons came in. We're waiting for the buy now. The 12-hour sell warnings, sell now came in. And now we're waiting for we have the prepare to buy soon. We're waiting for the buy now. So everything that we look for is flashing on chain. So that's why we got back into it, because it could have a round two. It could have a round two where it pops up. And we could say that we're very close. We could say that we already broke that trend line. Because like if you really hug it tight like before, we already broke it. But for, playing on the more cautious side, let's just say we're calling up. And if we break up above here now, we would break it. So 12-hour prayer to buy soon. The 12-hour prayer to buy soon and buy now got it back here. Sell warning, sell now got it back here. So we got the 4-hour buy now. We got the 6-hour buy warning, 9-hour buy warning, 12-hour buy warning. Let's look at the daily chart real quick. So no, we don't have it on the daily. So yeah, definitely something we got to watch as far as that goes about holding these levels. Because if I take this low to this high up here, stretch it out, and now I'm going to put a lower time frame on so we can see the exact 786. The 786 is sitting at 0.01132. We're at 0.01115. But so we're below it right now. But that doesn't mean that, we're just going to tank down. We have to watch the higher time frame body candle closes. And right now we are below it on the 12-hour, but we got 6 hours left. So 6 hours left there. And then on the daily, we're below it. So in 6 hours, we better see chain pull up here and not close that body of the candle below. Right now, it's probably retesting, because look at how these bodies, like kind of, if we were to pull it right to here, these bodies couldn't get through here. Then once it did, it shot. So as long as the body maintains above here, I'd say we're Gucci. So that's chain. Velo has been absolutely our greatest trade so far. We got into Velo cheaper than everybody else. Let's just say that. A lot of people are now hopping on the Velo train. I see a lot of people saying, we called this gem. I think we called it here first on Stargate. I think they watch us. That's good though. We got to give the gems out. But we got it in at 0.002. We came up to 0.014 today. Literally, that was a 534% move in 13 days. Maybe we got in a little bit back here, but it hasn't even been a full month yet. And we nailed this. So congrats to everybody who got in on this. Quite frankly, I wish I put a little more into this. I wish I kind of went harder into it. I think I threw a couple hundred in, maybe 300 or 400, which is up, in the thousands now. But imagine if you threw $1,000 in or $2,000, something like that. Ooh, sometimes, but that's you got to play it a little safe when you're getting into coins like these that are so low cap, because you never know, they could go the opposite way. So that's all right. Win's a win. 500% is huge. So right now we are still holding this trend up here. So I would say if we were to break the 0.009 then maybe we come into a steeper correction for Velo. But this is one that I'm really just looking to just hold and come back to in the midst of the bull market. Like the bull market really is just starting. So, and we've seen this movement, like imagine, I don't want to sell this one too short, because a couple $100 now, it turned into a good amount of money, but like it could be an insane amount of money in the midst of the bull market. We could be up 5,000% in the midst of the bull market. So for this, the short-term trend is holding, but I would say if we broke 0.009, we're going to correct a little bit down. But I'm going to hold this one tight. I don't want to kind of go in and out of this one. It's such a small cap that like, even though it can tank down, it could pop right back up so quick that it will involve a lot of attention that could take away from kind of the bigger holdings that we have, like Chain and XRP, XLM. So Velo though, I will say is running into some resistance at the 200-day moving average. So if you wanted to really track this, I would make sure we get above that 200-day moving average, because that's a key level of resistance. So definitely watch that. Go to the Velo tethered chart on KuCoin, and we would really need to close a daily body candle above 0.013. We must get above there and hold daily body candles above if we're going to just start ripping up more. So definitely, I mean, we're up 6x in less than a month. To give, you got to get a bit. So maybe it does come back down. That's all good. Personally, I'm going to come back to Velo in the midst of the bull market. Honestly, if Velo pulls back down, I'll load back up in more. It's our second chance to kind of get more skin in the game on it. So I'm cool with it kind of having a correction, but if it wants to keep going, that's fine. But right now we are at some critical resistance with the 200-day moving average. You see how we got rejected right here, we got above, then we broke back down. So definitely a key level for Velo. But so far, so good, as far as that was a great trade. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. This is a longer video, but I want to make sure that we kind of covered some of those key chart dynamics, the ones at the beginning, as well as kind of go into more depth about how this all works, right? So that's going to be it. I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.